Real-time feedback into the behavior of your distributed systems and observing changes, exceptions, errors in real time allows you to not only experiment with confidence, but respond instantly to get things working again.
Hello everybody, I'm here to talk about one of the problems we have in project development with front-end and back-end teams. The problem is not usually a technology problem, it's a communication problem. I'm introduce myself. My name is Julio Cesar Abalde Reyes. I'm head front-end developer at Singular. I have more than 19 years of experience in web development. I'm leading the front-end side of OSSS initiative at Singular. Let's talk about the pain. The main problem when we start a project with front-end and side and back-end teams is when front-end team can start to work. Currently, we made use of mocks to start development the front side, but it makes the communication can be different when we are in the integration moment. API needs time to make his work, and we can or mock the expected input and output from API, or wait them to finish their work. This can block the entire front-end team a lot of time, and we are waiting for the server side can be a lot of time waiting. Another pain is that when we integrate the two systems, the difference between them, or even a difference made in API in the future. Any change can broke the front-end side if we don't find it early. What's the solution? The solution is talk between both teams. Both teams can negotiate the API signature until they reach an agreement. When both agree with the contract, we can start development, coding, each one in its side. In this moment, development teams can work in parallel without any block between them. The developers are happy because the API is well designed, they agree with the specification, and the API is well documented. Also, they reduce the risk of failure because all teams must honor the contract. If one team made a change without telling it to the other team, it will broke in before integration time. We can introduce it in CI/CD pipes or so. How can we communicate and agree the communication between both sides? Using OpenAPI specification files, Here we can define endpoints, methods, parameters, inputs, outputs, anything. Anybody made this before? Yes. There are more tools in internet that you can download and use for this. But they usually are over Java virtual machine. We don't want to have front-end developers to install all the Java world. So we want to make it in Node.js. Node.js, they have all installed in their development computers. So it's easy to start to use these tools. Which are these tools? Well, we have two tools currently, one in a production state, and another we are developing nowadays. The first one allows us to create the scaffolding magically. We have no need to code anything to have a first functional version of the API calls. We simply read an openapi specification files, and it made us a server, client, or interface, so we speak the same language between all the teams. As I said before, this is already in production and can be installed from global npm registry, so you all can test it and send us any comment you want. Open us any issues if you find any bug, and we'll try to fix them as soon as possible with the team we have in Singular. The other tool is will have two different modes. The first one is in which we are working in this moment, is the possibility of launch a mock server without any human interaction. We can read an openapi specification file, and in this moment we have working endpoints, so we can start to connect them from our front-end application. The second part of this project will allow us to validate any API server to check if it works with the specification we agreed before. Let's try them. Well, first tool is the code generator. We have a simple YAML file with anything, some endpoints and some methods, and the response of them. When we launch the tools, we generate code to server and client side without doing anything. We can see in this execution we create a client and server code and interface code to communicate the object to define the object we are going to use. Let's see what it has created automatically. We have a client code with the endpoints of the specification file and the methods we defined in the specification. In server side, we have an express server with the endpoints and methods. In the scaffolding, we only launch trigger an error, so you can know is not implemented, but here you can introduce your own code with database connections or any service you need. And it makes the interface we are going to use. In this sample, we have a group interface, a schema interface, and an user interface. In the other tool, which is in development stage in this moment, we are going to launch a more server, and with Postman, we are going to see the input and output we can retrieve from the server. Simply, we launch the server, detect the route in the file, and in memory, we launch the server. As we can see, was 2 seconds or so launching this server. Let's go to Postman. Let's retrieve the schema registry list. Is one sample we have. And when we call our mock server, it returns a list, as we can see in the output. A list, now one object only, but we have data in this moment. We see also we can make another request, which is going to retrieve us an only object, and we can make also post and put a request with validation. The specification files of post and put define the input we are expecting to receive, and validate the input data with the specification. So if we remove a field, a mandatory field, we can see is going to give us an error giving us which key is missing from the input. If we add a key which is not defined in the spec file, it will give us another error indicating the field is not allowed to use in this request. The put request has the same validation than the post request. We can remove any field, any mandatory field, and we have the same error. And that's all. Here, if you want to contact to me in Twitter, you can tell me anything about these tools, any question, any issue you have using them on your day-by-day development. You can contact me via email also, and you can download the code so you can see what we did at GitHub. Thank you for your attendance. I'll be here for anything you want.